amazing trip. That's why we became
that was
closer as
so
well. There's so
good.
many stories.
The best thing is like we both were supposed to go to the UK. Both of our visa got rejected.
we won't
Thank
talk-
God,
Yeah,
because I
that
was
was-
going to
we
the
won't-
Malaysia
Like it is meant
campus
to
and I
be.
was
We
like,
were meant to go to Malaysia. Like,
thank God.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of our podcast. My name is Syed Uzair and with me I have...
Anashwara Pradeep.
Aaron Jubi.
Today we're going to talk about our introduction, our personal stories, where we came from, where we went to uni, what we did after that, and where we're working. After that, we'll talk about why we are doing the podcast. I think that's an important thing people
Yeah.
need to know. Getting straight into it. Aaron, you can start. Where did you study? Where did you grow up?
Okay, so I studied in Saudi. I'm from Saudi. So I was born in India, but then from my childhood I was in Saudi. I went to a boys only school
Okay.
because in Saudi it's always like that. It's always separate. So I was a very introverted person
Okay.
because I had the same group of friends throughout my childhood.
Mm.
But it was a good experience, like having that brotherhood, like having that bond with just like same friends. That just feels great. Like that's something that it's very hard to find these days. I believe. Then I did computer science, so PCMC.
You did computer science?
Yeah, physics, chemistry, maths, computer science.
Huh?
Yeah, so science stream, but then I hated biology, so I took computer science.
Fair enough.
So after that, I was like, should I go for engineering or should I just change? The thing is, we had to go for tuitions after that as well. So the school was not like the best education, so we had to go for private tuitions after that. Spend a lot of money on getting through 11th and 12th. So you know what, I'm like, spend so much money, just go for engineering because otherwise it's just going full 180 degree back
Yeah.
and starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Chose engineering, came to Dubai, joined Harriet. The reason for choosing Harriet was Manasseh had long hair, I had long hair. Long hair is allowed. You know what? Let's do it. Let's join Harriet.
So how did you find Manasseh?
It was on the
from
council
Saudi?
page.
So Manasseh, he was
Wait,
stalking you from
whoa.
Saudi.
Yeah, I was
So there,
like,
there
Whoa.
are people stalking you, Manasseh,
yeah.
from Saudi.
You remember
Arabia.
that you guys posted an Oscars video.
Yeah.
So in that Manasseh had long hair, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, long hair is allowed because in my school it wasn't allowed.
Oh.
So for me, I was like, you know what? It's great. Like joining Harriet, nothing else. That's how I joined Harriet.
I think that's like a thing that's there in all schools, right? Like long hair is not allowed.
Yeah,
Like
long
even
hair
if
is
it is a little like long, they'll just tell you to chop it off. Like
same.
for guys.
For me, even in the back, like they was not allowed to grow it like past a certain
Yeah,
level.
same. My
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, so for me, like that was great because it grew during COVID. Looking back, I absolutely regret growing it, but it was.
We'll put a picture up on
Nah,
the
Yep,
screen.
yep.
I won't do that.
Aaron is editing it, so Aaron will put a nice picture of him
I
from
am not
Saudi.
doing. I am not
Because
doing.
you have to see the difference between the glow ups. Right?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
Aaron
100%,
probably
100%.
has had the most incredible glow up. This is going to be real, by the way. Insane, right? Aaron has had the most incredible glow up ever.
I am not putting a photo of
He
myself.
if he puts up the before and then you see the after.
You know, I deleted all my old posts so that nothing is on the internet. I'm not going to put up my photo here.
I know it's not on the internet, but it's there on your device.
No, I'm
So
not going to do that.
We are definitely are. We'll convince him right
Yes,
now.
yes. Done.
So then came to Harriet, took
Okay.
mechanical engineering
Okay.
because why not? It's the
Yeah.
most broadest degree. You can switch to anything after that. That's what I thought at least.
Okay. fair
Yeah,
enough.
because in India, like mechanical is like the bare bones degree of engineering, and then
Okay.
you can divert into anything after that.
Uh-huh.
So you don't have to specialize in anything. Chose that, absolutely regretted it after first year because first year was online exams.
Hmm.
After that, it became in person. Realized this shit is not for me, but somehow got through it. 3 years of mechanical, and then finally that's done. Between this, got introduced to the council. That was a great experience. Like from the first day onwards, council was something that I was looking forward to because
Okay.
that gives you exposure. My
Yeah.
whole point of joining uni was to get that exposure that I've never got from school.
Hmm.
Joined the media club because I loved like shooting photos, shooting
Yeah.
videos. Joined the media club. Started shooting for the council.
Hmm.
1 year later, shot your campaign. Then got into a council marketing position role.
Hmm.
Did that for 18 months.
Okay.
And then eventually one of the marketing roles opened up. And then applied for a full-time role in marketing.
Okay.
Did that for 7 months. That was a great experience, like working like under brilliant people who I never knew. Like there was so much to marketing rather than just
Mm.
creating photos, creating videos. There's
Yeah.
so much more brand that happens there.
Hmm.
That was a great experience as well. Then finally your role opened up that you were doing before. I think you'll
Yeah.
come to that later.
Yeah.
So currently I'm working.
Yeah, but
for-
what's the role called? Who do you work for?
So what I do now is I work as a project coordinator
Okay.
to the provost,
Okay.
Professor Dame Heather McGregor.
Okay.
Great person to work under. Like that mentorship that you get from there is like there's no equivalence to that. Like
Yeah.
even though you do everything here, it's a good experience to learn. And currently I'm also doing my master's in logistics and supply chain.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll be done with that next year.
Okay.
And then that's my life story
Nice.
shortened into 5 minutes, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Let me check how long that was. That was like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That was 5
That was
minutes.
actually really
That
fast.
was even
we
shorter
can
than that, right?
interrogate him a little bit more. Why is supply chains and logistics? That sounds incredibly boring.
It is incredibly boring. I thought.
Oh, okay.
I thought.
Okay.
I thought.
Nice.
But it is actually way better than I thought. The thing is, I come from engineering. Right? The engineering, the whole concept of that, you find the easiest way to do something more than the right way to do something. And it's just so messed up when you look into it. Like the people who are not really passionate about engineering shouldn't take engineering.
Okay.
It's such a hard degree. Even the professors are sometimes confused on, oh, where does this question come from? Like it's always very subjective. Like there's 1,000 ways to solve a particular case. So we don't know what's right until someone will find a new way to solve it, and then that's the new way to do it. So it's always very subjective. But with this, I feel like it's okay. There's a straightforward answer. I'm not saying you don't have to think. You have to think, but it's much easier. It's much calmer. Like I'm doing probably like 1/4 of the struggle that I did for engineering. For an exam in mechanical, I had to study like 1 month prior. I had to start studying. Otherwise, I would not pass.
That's
This one, if I study for 3 days, I'll get an A. Like it's easier.
Are you confident?
Let's see in the next exam how that goes. But
Reach out to Shireen Nasir for reducing his marks because he only studied for 3 days.
we have to start studying. Though.
Oh, you have to start.
Yeah,
studying. Okay, then fine. Yeah.
Exams
Easy,
on
fine.
December 4th.
December 4th. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah. Let's practice our awkward silence while I pick up our surprises.
what is an awkward silence?
What's an awkward
Bro, where did the drinks go?
It's behind you.
This is for me. I bought myself a drink, guys.
You got the
I bought
coconut?
For our first podcast. This is for you, Aaron.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the
Yeah, there's only two Red Bulls, so yeah.
Thank you.
So it's now going to be, unless you mentioned what we're going to do in this segment of the podcast, right?
We're gonna
She's zoned out.
we're gonna open it together.
Yeah, we're going to ASMR it. That's the exact words she used, but
I didn't say that.
Okay,
I
ready?
said it's gonna become like an
ASMR.
ASMR. Wait, I don't have nails,
Yo, if
man.
I
I can't get it. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
I think that might be satisfying in post.
think
or
that's
it
gonna
might not
be-
have been picked
I
up.
think that's
if
gonna be
it is so
really
bad,
good.
we'll probably cut it out.
So you're practicing awkward silence in 3, 2, 1.
Isn't that concerning?
Okay, cool.
I need a straw, man.
So there's no straw to do. Now I think let's move forward to the next person.
Yeah.
Homie, that's you.
Oh.
We move forward to the next person who has zoned out. Welcome back to the podcast, Anas. It's great to have you. How are you today?
Okay, so introduction wise, well,
We'll
We've
put like
done
the clock thing. 5 hours
We
later.
have done. We've done this podcast 3 times. This is the 3rd time, and Anas has taken up 60 GBs in the old podcast.
no, man.
60 per camera, yeah. So
60
that's around 180.
108. She spoke for 2 hours. She started when she was born till today. So
I
today
didn't
we're
say that.
cutting it short. Anas,
Anas, you got
introduction.
this.
You got this.
Okay, so born and brought up in Dubai itself. Been here all my life.
She doesn't know where to start.
Yeah, I don't know where to start.
Which uni did you join? Why did you join?
Okay, so I joined Harriet because I didn't exactly have much options because this was during COVID time. My initial plan was to go to the UK, Newcastle University, but that fell through again because of COVID. So everything was online first year. I mean, I did direct entry second year, but anyways. I did international business management with marketing. Since everything was online, I felt like, oh, okay, this is easy. I barely even attended classes because it was very similar to what I did in school, 11th and 12th. So, okay. So because of that, I was like, okay, cruising through second year and third year. But third year, it became blended learning. So our tutorials were on campus, but again, lectures were online because there were still COVID regulations and stuff. But that's when I actually got involved with the student council because of, well, I started off with sports, especially athletics. I became the VP of Athletics Club and then proceeded to go for Executive of Sports, and then ended up going for VP of Sports in my final year of university. That year was a little bit difficult because if you have a lot of things on your plate, you have to be very careful because you don't want to screw up your marks. There's no retests or anything of that sort. So
There's no research in fourth year, right?
yeah, you don't have a retest or like a resets. You don't have that opportunity, and you have dissertation as well. So you have to be on your A game for all aspects if you're gonna pull something like that. But after my VP of sports, I ended up running for student president because I felt like I would be able to bring some sort of change, and I've seen how much change was brought by the previous student presidents. So yeah, I ended up going for student president, and my main project thing that I did during my student presidency would be student of the year.
Okay.
That is like a year-long project, which
Wasn't that done by Karan Johar?
Yeah, they copied it from her.
Oh, they copied
yeah. It's nothing like the movie.
Okay,
The movie turned out to be a little bit chaotic
Okay.
because they ended up having elimination in every round. So after analyzing that movie and seeing how many things went wrong, we executed it even better in real life. We ended up
tag Karan Johar in this.
You would want to shoot a next movie,
yeah.
Student of the Year 3.
3 is now going to be directed by Anuswara Pradeep.
I don't think we need a 3. I think we're good. I think we're good. But anyways, we had 3 parts to it. Academics, we had talent related, which was what got talent, and then we had what Olympics, which was the sports segment to it. We did it in a leaderboard system so that everyone gets a fair chance, and it's completely based on points. So the top 10 winners, the top 10 on the leaderboard will end up going to the Edinburgh campus for 1 week, and the first place person would get the first place position person.
Yeah.
English in the bin. Okay, would go to the Edinburgh campus for free for 1 week, which is
That's
an
great.
That
absolute.
sounds like a dream, right?
Yeah.
That is actually like crazy because a lot of students when they saw it they were like, okay, you know what, let's do it, and they haven't even participated in university events before that.
That was a great initiative because
That's
bringing so
W's.
many students who are
That's
not
W's.
engaged already to
Yeah, we
participate in
had
event.
around like 250 people
That's
overall
crazy.
participate, which is
Yeah.
a huge thing for an
Inter-university.
intra-university project because inter-university would be Whatfest.
Mhm.
We've had a lot of people come in for that, but that's because we have other university students coming in as well. But yeah, I feel like student of the year, that entire project was my biggest success for me as well as my team. I absolutely love my team. We were one unit when it came to making any decision because even if we had internal disagreements, we would somehow reach a conclusion which was mutually benefiting every party. So that is something that I developed during my year of presidency because understanding every perspective before you make a call is quite difficult, not gonna lie, because you can't impress everyone. That is the thing with this position. But yeah, I think that went well, and now I am doing masters in supply chain and logistics. Chair logistics and supply chain.
Oh, the same as Aaron.
Yeah, we're classmates.
Okay, so why are you doing supply chains and logistics?
Dad's business.
Dad's business. What does your dad do?
Freight forwarding.
Freight forwarding. And then you want to learn?
Yes. So, I thought this is going to be like a boring subject, but when I went to class and actually started understanding what they were saying, because there are a lot of technical terms. So because of that, I was like, oh, okay, this is not something that I know. From an outside perspective, you might know the outline of it, but once you get into it, you will learn a lot more things, like automated trucks. I didn't even realize there were stuff like that, and what the developments behind it and all of that. And
It is
I did
interesting.
it is
Yeah.
very interesting actually, but our goal is to get distinction, although I don't know
Yeah.
Inshallah.
if
Yeah.
we have to reach for the stars,
Inshallah.
so hopefully we get good marks.
Yeah, I believe you'll get good marks because I just recently graduated as well, so I did get a distinction.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
cool.
so now we know it is possible. If he can do it, then we can do it.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
exact. Actually, I completely agree. I know she tried to throw shade there.
No, I didn't throw
But-
shade.
but I always
I
thought
mean, for
in-
real.
I always thought in school, what's the point of studying so hard, right? They're full time they're studying, they're not playing or they're not
I agree.
participating in anything. And I was like, there's no point. And I always thought I can do it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I didn't try that in uni either. And then in my masters, I was like, you know what?
Maybe
I've
we
always
should.
said I could. So let me try. Let me test. And it
Yeah.
wasn't that hard. You just need to like study
Yeah.
for a lot longer than you would have.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's not like very complicated. You just need to put in the effort. Like everyone can get a distinction if they
Yeah.
really wanted to. Like it will be. You have to analyze if the sacrifice is worth the effort you're putting in or the reward you'll get at the end.
Yeah,
which
because back
then-
in school, like it was. I mean, I didn't really give that many shits.
Yeah, same. So
Even in uni, like I was literally everywhere else except for my class.
I can't relate. I mean, doesn't matter how much I studied, I would never get an A.
you can. You can.
You
It's
could
not very
have.
hard.
You know, our class went from I think 200 people to 80 people in the span of 4 years.
Yeah, but that's because you guys were copying.
No, it went because
I
people
remember
couldn't
this
pass.
case. I was sitting on the case.
People couldn't pass. Like
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
so hard. Like the
Yeah,
amount
like,
of drop that
engineering is
happens is,
hard, yeah.
insane.
But that's what creates the value for the degree, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's such a difficult degree. Engineers, I think a stat is most of the millionaires have an engineering degree.
People who work in finance, most of them.
Most of the CEOs.
Most of the CEOs.
CEOs of companies start with an engineering degree because it's like a
It's
tough-
understandable.
Yeah,
Like,
it teaches you a way of thinking.
yeah.
So yeah, any questions for us?
What are your passions? Like, I know you dance. Can you like explain a bit about that as well?
That's a good question. Yeah.
How do I even explain that? Okay, so
And she just moves.
What was your
her-
dance career like? Like, where do you start? What are you
oh,
doing now?
so I mean, I started when I was 3 or 4.
I knew she was gonna say that.
No, I'm not kidding. Like for
Mm.
real. Like I started when I was 3 or 4, but then I started with Bharatanatyam.
Oh no.
Bharatanatyam for 10 years, man.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah. It is
Like,
kind of horrible.
see, in the beginning, it was kind of fun. In the middle, also, like here and there, like when it was performance time, it was vibes. But then otherwise, it got like really boring because I realized like that's not my style. My style is more of hip hop. So in 7th grade or 8th grade, I started going for like hip hop classes or like Bollywood classes. And I found that interesting. Like I felt like I could vibe more. And
Like
then,
the Australian break dancer, right?
oh, hell no. Hell no.
I think we should just play a video of that.
Oh, hell
And compare
no.
Anus's
Compare
side.
Anus's side.
Oh, hell no.
I think
Anyways.
she did really well.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean-
she can do a head ulta turn and all. It's kind of cool. You can
Okay,
do that too.
moving on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then in uni, I ended up joining the dance team.
Okay.
I mean, first dance club and then after auditions, dance team. And this is my 3rd year part of the dance team. I feel like I've grown as a dancer because we work with different choreographers. We have different workshops and so many things that we attend. So because of that, it's very diverse and you need to pick up. Like you will end up picking up the skills, and in the beginning you'll be like very shy and everything. You'll be like, oh my god, what if I do this wrong? Oh my god, this is scary, that is scary. But you have to put yourself in that position to learn. Again,
Yeah.
like you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions to learn something. Otherwise, it's just.
I've heard
the-
that saying before.
Otherwise, what are you doing,
It was
man?
a part of someone's graduation speech. Mine? What the hell?
Oh shit!
I said it like 16 times. So rude.
You think I was there inside? I was always
You
outside.
never heard my graduation speech?
Not fully, no.
Damn. Why? You fell asleep halfway through?
No, we weren't allowed inside.
Well, that's so sad.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were looking out at the shop, right? Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm speaking, no one's at the shop.
Yeah, but
That's
they
so
have to
sad.
just sit there.
You guys should have come in. It was
That
a
is
I've listened to too
depression
many
mode.
times. I mean,
yeah, you recorded it for
Yeah.
me and all. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
now, what is your introduction?
Oh, segue into it. We're already like 20 some minutes in. Yeah, so I was born and brought up in Dubai. So I'm a Dubai kid. Don't relate to
No, you're a Sharjah
Sharjah
kid.
Sharjah
It's
kid,
not the
Dubai
same.
kid.
You're a
It's not the
Sharjah kid.
same.
It's not the
Okay,
same.
fine,
It's
I'm
not
a
the
Dubai
same.
kid. You're a
I'm a
Sharjah kid.
Sharjah kid.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm
what I
a
thought.
Sharjah kid. We don't relate. So when we go to India, nobody accepts us. But also people from Dubai, we're not there. We're not locals here. And when we go there, we are like, oh, NRI kids. So we don't fit in apart from like if I
That
see
is
other
true.
Dubai/Sharjah kids. Okay, whatever. School, I thought was kind of pointless. I didn't understand why teachers were reading from a book and telling us to
NCERT.
copy paste it into the exam. Barely went to school. I don't know how I got through. Accounts was kind of fun.
Yeah, agreed.
But apart from that, because that was like application based, right? So that
Mhm.
was fun. And IT was application based as well, so it was okay.
You're IT? That's a course?
We had IT, yeah. So I learned Java, I
didn't
learned
take
Oh, okay,
SQL,
okay.
yeah,
For
yeah.
us, they call it computer science.
So
Mm.
yeah, computer science had Python as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, we learned
We
Python.
didn't have Python.
There's something called informatics. I don't know.
Informatics practices,
That's
IT.
What, okay.
That's IP.
IP, same thing.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah. the same
Okay.
thing. And then 2018, that's when I joined university. I did my BBA. And as I've found out recently, everyone does BBA because they have no idea what to do.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
everyone,
I knew
every
this from
Hereford
the.
person who has ever done BBA, like I spoke to this person who did it in the UK, and they're working in HR. I was like, bro, why not IBM with HR, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh yeah, I just did BBA because I had no idea what to do. So that
You
is
know,
a
Same thing with mechanical. Like the people who wants to do engineering but don't know what to do
yeah.
takes mechanical.
Yeah.
I
so-
was literally gonna say that, but then I waited for him to complete it, so that I
Okay.
was like, okay, I can
Oh.
say it, but like, never mind. You've said it anyways.
Okay, yeah, thanks for your
Input.
extra input that was not needed. So yeah, I did BBA. Uni was a lot more fun because we had to actually learn something and write it on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of interesting. But the best part about uni was the people. So in school, like, bro, like, it's always the same people and it's a
Yeah.
limited number of things. But in uni, there were so many different things. The main thing I would like to highlight is sports and social clubs. Hereford, absolutely amazing. Like,
I
the
agree.
reason I joined Hereford was my mom was like, go. This is a uni for you. And I was like, okay, I don't care about studying. But the clubs were interesting. So there was 10 sports clubs and I'm very interested in sport. So I was like, bro, I need to go to every single sport club. And I learned how to say hi to enough people. That was the one thing I wanted to change in my life. Said hi to everyone. And before I knew it, like I knew a lot of people. And I did, dragon boating was a big part of my life. It's a great club if anyone's looking at this and want to do dragon
I don't
boating.
think people know what dragon boating is.
Dragon boating is a boat where there's 20 people who have to row in sync to go faster. And you go to races like in, we
Abu
did the Burj
Dhabi.
Khalifa one, Abu Dhabi, Shangri-La. It's
Rack.
beautiful spots, right? So you do the race, which is like 2 hours, and then you're on a beach with all your friends. It's a great sport club, but it's also a great social club.
Yeah.
That is true.
You know something called as Wallamkali? So that's
Yeah,
so
it's
I
the
think
same.
it's
It's
the
almost the
it's
same.
adapted from one is adapted from the other. I feel
I
like
think
We had a competition in relation to that, like in RAC.
Yeah,
We
so,
had, it's literally men.
the Mallu-based organization that does it,
Yeah.
they held a dragon boating race.
okay.
So it's basically the same,
same thing,
There's,
right?
there's slight difference in the boats.
Yeah,
Boats,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Okay.
We just put a photo of both up.
I just want to highlight one thing. Like in our team, we have mixed boats, like girls and guys, right? And in this specific competition, all the other boats they only had like big men, okay, who can like when you look at them, you know they can pull, right? But they were underestimating us so badly. They were like, "Oh, there are girls in this team. Oh, they're gonna lose." And guess what? We came second in that competition.
Oh, so we did lose.
And it, and
They were right.
I
Big
just
men were
want to say, it came on the news.
That we lost.
You should
We
know
came
that.
second, okay?
So the big
Second
men
is
were
not
right.
bad.
That's funny.
So yeah, dragon boating, great club, and I decided to
frick?
run for VP of that club. Lost that election.
Oh,
Big
no.
slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a whole bunch of politics which I won't get involved in, but I lost. Like, it's my fault. I lost, right? And I was like depressed. I was like, damn, nobody likes me. I have this many people that I said hello to, but nobody likes me. And then a good friend at the time, Shri, she was like, bro, you know everyone in every sports club. Why don't you do sports exec? And I was like, what is council? Like, I know you mentioned council, but what is council? Like, there's a bunch of popular people getting into a room together. What's the point? That time there was no image, like there was no visibility of who is in the council, what they used to do, apart from a little bit on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want to stand for that. And she was like, no, we actually do a lot of work. And so I did it. Incredible public speaking anxiety. Would have never imagined doing a podcast, let alone speak to a camera. That it was incredibly scary to speak to a camera and then press post.
Yeah.
Bro, terrifying. So that
The
election was
social anxiety.
oh the election was insane, and I did get elected as sports exec, and I had to introduce myself in a room like this, and I went, "Hello, my name is Said Zaid," and froze. Like I couldn't think of what to say, and it was like incredibly anxiety inducing because in sports clubs it's fine, right? Like you can relate. We can talk about sport and we can like hype up a team.
Yeah, that is true.
In a corporate setting, bro, that's incredibly
Yeah, I know.
difficult. Like it's very difficult. I worked through that with the council. So that was my big love
Mhm.
for the council. The university gave me what I wanted. I wanted to develop as a person. I found a weakness and I filled that hole. That weakness was fixed.
Fill that gap, you mean.
Fill that gap.
Yeah, gap would be the...
Gap assessment is the right one. Yeah. So yeah, I can't stop thinking about the whole.
What the frick, bro?
So yeah, I fell in love with the council. Decided to run for student president, another role that has so much responsibility. You take care of 5,000 students almost.
Yeah.
20 social clubs, 60. Like there's a whole bunch of stats I can give you, but I'll actually talk about a story in my presidency journey. My first year, um, it was right after COVID, and my batch hadn't graduated. So I was like, I need to do something for my batch. These are the guys who voted for me. The elections were incredibly competitive as well. I ran against my best friend and all. Um, and first event, it was incredibly. There was a lot of pitfalls. We'll get into it one day, but um, I got scoldings quite a bit of messing up. First event, obviously. But we basically did this thing where you come into uni, you're separate. We take a photo of you with your parents, and then you leave. So it's one at a time. And there were a lot of mistakes going on. So I did get quite a few scoldings. At the end of the event, I got a ping on my email. Because that time I was not used to checking email. It's my first job, right? And so I quickly opened it, and it was this email from this person saying, "Dude, thank you so much for doing this. I don't know if my dad's going to be well enough to make it to the actual graduation." And he got a chance to see me graduate, and I was like, bro, like that is insane. I was just trying to help out my friends and like save my image, but the impact you have as student president is so outreaching. It's mental, right?
Yeah.
That motivated me in my first year like crazy. I was like, I need to work every single second to make sure like that impact is being spread. And you were in my team in that year, bro, amazing. Like sports exec, she was fantastic. We had a marketing person back then as well, but Aaron wasn't that one. But that year's team, incredible team. Moving on to the second year, Anas became VP of sports. I met Aaron. The brain behind every single operation that we ever did was Aaron. Like I was too busy focusing on like the strategic things, the meetings, the finances. I had no time to actually be on the ground, follow up people, chase people. That was Aaron. Like most of our stuff was online. It was all Aaron, and it looked incredibly good. So the three of us became incredibly close friends. No light. So, sorry for the quick interruption. Aaron, the brains again, has fixed the lighting. The lights just turned off, but so that happened in second year. I met you guys, and we worked on quite a few things together. Almost best friends, I would say. Maybe not Anas, she's there for diversity, but Aaron and I, bro, homies for life. But in my second year, I also did a similar thing, but I did it before Anas, so she copied me. We did a sports trip where we took 30 students to Malaysia, 30 students to the UK, and it was our Dragon team that went football, basketball, and badminton. And that was an amazing trip. That's why we became
that was
closer as
so
well. There's so
good.
many stories.
The best thing is like we both were supposed to go to the UK. Both of our visa got rejected.
Thank God,
Yeah,
because I
that
was
was
going to the
more-
Malaysia
Like it was
campus
meant to
and
be.
I was
We
like,
were meant to go to Malaysia.
Yeah,
Like,
Thank God.
we won't talk about why the visas got rejected.
yeah, you know.
That's kind of sad. But yeah, that was an incredible achievement, and that there were quite a few more. I think we can do a dedicated podcast.
yeah,
for that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And then, but in that year, I also met Heather. So the person who Aaron, the dome who Aaron is working for, she's an incredible woman, bro. At 60 plus years old, she works incredibly hard. She starts at 6 a.m., sleeps at like 9 p.m., and she's working the entire time. And she's very strategic about her work.
She's
And
so
I was-
smart.
And I was like, I need to like get some of this greatness off of me. I was like, Heather, please, I will get you coffee every day. Just let me work for you. And she did. That was 1 year into the whole like project assistant, project coordinator thing, which was absolutely fantastic. There's again a whole nother hour I can talk about how incredible that journey was.
We'll get it on the podcast at some point.
We
Yeah.
will. And then now I'm in management consulting randomly. So I wear a 3-piece suit and I press align. So I align the squares.
That's great.
That's great, right?
Yeah.
Like it's in a 3-piece suit, but I just fix alignment on presentations. But that's incredibly fun.
I think
as
you're
well.
underplaying yourself. I think you should explain what you actually
Yeah.
do.
No, that's exactly what I do, and I'm surrounded by the smartest people in the world. So these guys solve problems for a living. Like businesses come to them and go, please, we need to right size. Please, we need to reduce costs. Please, we need to increase profit. And these guys are like, yeah, just do this. And I'm like, whoa, I'll align your slides, no problem. But it's incredibly complicated what they do, but it's a huge learning opportunity. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think we should get into why we want to do the podcast as well, right?
Yeah, since you're talking, just give a brief and then we'll just continue.
Yeah, I can talk about why we want to do the podcast. First of all, I love Aaron and Anas. I think I want to be around them more. So this is a conscious choice to kind of be around you guys. But apart from that, in my younger days, I didn't have a role model to look up to. I didn't know who I wanted to become. Like, it was just very complicated. Such a young time, nobody's there. Everyone's telling you different things. You don't know what to listen to. But if you had a role model, that would work. And that's the reason I think I would really like to do this podcast. I would like to meet more students from different niches. We've had a couple on already. Someone in financial services, someone in dance, someone in fashion, whatever your niche might be. How you went through that uni life and how you kind of have your passion and work together. That's what I want others to see, as well as I want to speak to them. Like, I want to learn from them. Like, some of the best things I've heard came from the podcast we've shot recently, right? I know this is going out first, and I've said we did podcast before, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's
we had
fine.
to do our intro thrice, like we
the-
said. So
we had to do the intro 3 times. I would like to apologize, but yeah, I would like to hear, like someone said, life is in seasons.
yeah,
And
that's.
I think
I
about
don't
that.
think we should spoil it. I think
Yeah,
let them see the
I
episode.
think about that a
Yeah.
lot. You know, I think about
Even the one that you said, I really like that
dude,
one as well.
That is also a crazy one. But yeah, that's why I enjoy doing the podcast. What about you guys? Who wants to go?
Okay, so for me, I think it's to spread more awareness or like more knowledge because, I mean, it's just not for the viewers. I mean, it's for us as well because we get to learn a lot from like the people who are coming in. I mean, yes, they might be students or they might be industrial experts, but again, in the end, it's not just the viewers who would be getting the knowledge. We would also be learning. So it's like a community of sorts, and we're trying to build it and go up all together. So yeah, I feel like
That's a good way to put it.
yeah. It's vibes like that.
What about you, Aaron? What is the type of guest you want on the podcast?
For me, it's like I always love listening to like industry experts talk. Like for example, I used to watch like all keynotes of Apple. Like I loved like Steve Jobs coming and introducing the iPhone. Like it's very nerdy, but I really loved watching that. It's because the way they present something, that's something that like I would want to do at some point. Like that confidence, that charisma that they bring onto the stage. Like they're literally convincing millions of people around the world to buy something with their lifelong savings. Like it's a huge thing, right? Like spending like 2 months of your income to buy a phone, and they convince them on the stage. That's like a very channeled way of
The
presenting
persuasion aspect
of it.
incredible.
It's incredible. So I loved watching keynotes. I love like watching Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, like these kind of people speaking. So and these are the popular ones.
Yeah.
There are people with similar level of knowledge who are not as popular on social media or whatever. My whole goal is to get those kind of people onto the podcast.
Okay.
Let them share their stories.
Yeah.
I think that's a great experience for us.
Okay. Yeah. Get students and their journey on. Wants to learn from people and spills drink on ourselves. I knew this was gonna happen. Someone was gonna spill a drink. And Aaron wants to talk to industry experts. Just to add to that, Aaron, as well. I think people who kind of you're in your second year of working, right?
Yeah.
Second year or third year, whatever.
Second, third year of work.
Second, third year. There's someone who's done 3 times the amount of work that you have done, and every year when you've worked, you've learned how to work harder than you used to before.
Yeah.
Right? And you've learned something, you've stacked some skills, and now you know how to do something faster. Imagine someone with like 20 years of that experience. Bro, the wealth of knowledge they have is incredible
We
to
can't
learn.
get that
You can't comprehend
quickly,
like how much you read, how much you listen. You only get that by doing.
I agree.
So I think that's an incredible thing to get them on as well. So do you want to rapid fire, or do you want to do what's one advice you would give to younger you?
One advice I would give to
Imagine
younger
an
you.
older person watching this. Hey, these guys are young. What are they
Yeah,
talking
I don't think we should do that. Bro. I think we should go to rapid fire.
Nah, uni you, man. Come on. I have to give uni you some advice.
I mean,
If
to
I
be
look back 5 years, I think I should
Don't
have
grow
just
out
talked
your
to
hair.
more people.
Talk to more people.
I should have just
okay.
talked to more people. I was very constrained on my friend group. Because
Okay.
thing is, I hate maintaining a lot of people.
Mm.
Like I prefer to maintain like a very few people. Like I
Yeah.
would rather give 100% to 2 people than like 20% to 10 people. Like I
Okay.
prefer that way of building relationships.
Interesting.
So I'm very bad at managing multiple people. I have like 3-4 friends. That's it. Like
Oh.
very less friends because I feel like I would rather put my all effort into those people rather than like splitting it across like 20-30 people. It doesn't always work. It's not the best solution.
Yeah.
But that's the way I do things. But now I'm expanding my network. Like that's what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
at least.
Because that's interesting, right, Anas? Because I think we've had like a similar but
ours is like
different,
completely
different
opposite.
opinion, right?
Yeah.
I would consider anyone I've spoken to in a nice way my friend.
Hmm.
So like,
Yeah.
if I've spoken to them and they're nice to me and I'm nice to them, they're my friend. There's levels of friendship. Like best friend, obviously you'll have a
Yeah.
lesser amount, but bro, you're my friend. Like, if you call me and ask me for help and I would help you, you're my friend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like that, I have so many people that I would
Yeah.
try my best to help no matter what, right? And I think that has been a useful way to expand my network. Like, I wouldn't be like, if I hadn't spoken to them for 6 months, usually when you see them, you feel the same energy. Like, I feel like, oh yeah, like I remember this about you.
Yeah.
So if you continue the energy, you will be able to expand your network.
That is true.
That's what
that's
I
what I'm trying to
feel
do
like
now, at
I've
least.
been doing as
Yeah.
well. But what do you think?
I mean, I would say back in uni, literally, I would go and say hi to everyone. Because back in school, I used to be a social butterfly. And then I realized during COVID time, that just died. And then because I got into like council positions and everything, that made me want to go out and say hi to a lot more people. Because it's not just about, yeah, okay, like saying hi, friends and everything. It's also because, again, networking, connections. You are organizing events. You would want people to
Yeah.
come as well.
Yeah.
So in a way, you are helping them and they're helping you.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's somewhat of an indirect thing,
Yeah.
because when you see it from like a surface level, oh, I'm speaking to you, we are friends and everything, but in the end, we would be mutually benefiting from each other.
Yeah.
So I feel
what
like
is like one advice you would give to your younger self?
I would say speak to a lot of people. That's good, but don't trust them too easily.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Should
got-
be like
got
the
it.
sad background music
Yeah,
out for
man,
that.
that's
like,
so sad.
You just
Like,
made it
I-
depressing, dude.
I would say.
Yeah,
No,
I
because
understand what she's where she's
because
coming
Yeah,
from.
but
I-
that's
I-
easy.
I
trust
keep-
people until they break my trust. Then it's fine.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
that's
the
exactly
bad way to
what-
do it, right? Like you're giving. Yeah, I mean.
No, see,
different
that's
logic.
exactly what I used to think. Like, I would trust people until they break it, and
Yeah.
once they break it, I'm saying peace out.
Yeah.
But
But-
the way they break it will probably. hold
Either
you down
it'll
a lot
break
more
you
than-
or it will just.
It won't break your.
It
You
depends,
really
like-
never know.
It's fine. Like you'll be sad for a while, and then it'll be fine. Like
He always downplays it, you know? Like,
you don't
I
have to
can't
be
be
like,
asked.
oh, I got broken because someone didn't. give
Nuh-uh,
me-"
it can piss you off so badly that you're just like, what the frick,
Yeah,
what the
okay,
frick, what the frick, what
I
the
can
frick.
see your
Yeah.
point of view, but
Yeah.
stoicism is very important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
And like,
doesn't
I
affect
would
you.
say,
You have to be delusional. You have to be like, no, it doesn't
Delulu?
affect me. You betrayed me. It doesn't affect me at all.
Delulu is just Delulu, guys.
Yeah. Talking about delusions.
Huh?
What's a delusion that you have?
I think you should talk about the delusion that you have.
Well, I have quite a few delusions. You don't want me
I
to
think we should get
into
into a whole podcast on delusion. I think
Yeah, yeah.
today if we start, that won't
Yeah,
get over.
yeah, yeah.
What is
Delusions
one
do-
advice that you would give to your
Yeah, I
younger
was
self?
just gonna.
Ooh. What is one advice I would give to my younger self? I should have thought of this while you guys were speaking.
Yeah, I know,
because
Yeah,
didn't
what-
Think, I didn't think of it. Maybe not one advice, but one insight is you can always work harder. Every year of my life that I've been working, I thought, oh yeah, I'm working incredibly hard. Then next year, whatever I've learned, I work with that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like double the amount of outputs. And then the year after that, it's again double the amount of outputs. So I look back and I'm like, bro, that wasn't hard work.
Yeah.
This is hard work. And I'm sure in the future when I start doing something else, be like, bro, you weren't doing anything that
Yeah,
time.
but that's just always like when we are in first grade feels tough, but when you go to 10th, first grade feels easy. Like it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, but like it's the same thing, right? Like it's studying. So like that time, if you studied enough,
Mm-hmm.
it would be fine. Like if I studied for 5 days and I had exam on 6th day,
I don't know if there's a saying of this sort, but then it goes like, you feel stupid when you're trying to gain knowledge.
true.
You
could
feel
be.
yeah, you
So,
feel you feel
actually-
weak when you're
actually
trying to get
just-
stronger.
Yeah, just on that, like maybe this is the advice I would give myself, my younger self. You know nothing.
Eh?
So there's this story that goes like this. Okay, there's two young fish that are swimming on one side of the ocean, and there's an older fish going by.
Mm-hmm.
So the older fish asks the younger fishes, whatever, I don't know the plural,
Fish and Nathan.
younger fish, how's the water today? And they don't reply and they go and they ask each other, what's water?
Oh, because they haven't seen anything else?
Yeah, because they're so young, they don't even know they're swimming in water.
Oh, okay.
That's mental, right? Like, think about it. Like, how much people who've done more in life know. So, when you go into speaking to someone, you don't know anything. They
Yeah.
know a lot more. There's always something you can learn. So, sometimes, like, shut your mouth and just, like,
Listen, yeah.
Yeah.
listen to what they're saying. That's what one advice I would give to.
Like, listen more.
Yeah, listen more. Yeah.
I think we should end our podcast then.
So yeah, that was Aaron just trying to hurry us up. I can talk for hours more, just saying. But Aaron is right. We're keeping this short. Aaron, should we do an outro?
What's an outro?
That's an inside joke that won't come
Yeah,
until
that- yeah.
the next podcast. But yeah, so this was fun. Stay tuned. We have a couple of guests lined up
A
already.
lot more stuff planned.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so much effort we have put into this.
Yeah.
We're just starting out.
Yeah.
Just subscribe, follow. I don't know where this is going out. So whatever the platform is, yeah, just
Fair
do
enough. Just
everything.
look at the camera and tell them to subscribe, follow, whatever.
Yeah, subscribe, follow. It'll be somewhere here. We'll put up the links
Okay.
or whatever. We have been working on this for like 6 months around at this point.
Yeah, I know, right? Really bad product for.
Yeah,
6
I know.
months.
Really bad product for 6 months, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
There's a lot of
Uh,
planning and our schedules didn't align properly.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
finally we started something. I'm proud of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm also proud of that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Anas, last few words to the camera. Aaron, cut it out.
yeah, like
Seriously?
no.
Okay.
Say something.
I don't know.